Hey friends, welcome to today's video. Today we are talking about the best of 2021. I'm going to break this up into at least 2 videos, possibly more. Today's video is going to be foundation, concealers. I have a couple of powders and bronzers in this video, so we'll call this kind of complexion. I want to share with you the products that I personally discovered this year that I just love, that are just so phenomenal that they are the best of the best. They are the best of the favorites in 2021. So let's go ahead and get started. So first, let's start with foundations. There are 3 foundations that made it into this video. The first one we'll talk about is the most recent that I've shared on my channel. It is the L'Oreal True Match Nude Hyaluronic Tinted Serum. I absolutely love this product. It is a foundation and a skincare kind of hybrid. It has hyaluronic acid in it, so it helps attract moisture to the skin and retain moisture. Extremely lightweight, very, very lightweight. It has the texture of a serum foundation, so kind of watery, but surprisingly, it offers more coverage than I expected it to offer. It's kind of described to give sheer to buildable coverage, and I feel like I get a pretty good medium coverage if I build this foundation. It also wears all day long on me and it looks like skin. If you have dry skin, it's gonna lean a little bit more matte. If you have oily skin, it's gonna look a little more natural on the skin. It's super long wearing, a like fail-proof foundation, just such a great product. It is a little bit high end for drugstore. It retails for about $20. So even though it's drugstore, it is up there in price, but I love it. I'm the shade 4 to 5 medium. The shades are pretty flexible. They are more, sheer in pigment. So there's some flexibility. So I could actually wear this and I could likely wear the shade below it as well. Such a beautiful product. If you haven't tried this and you like a lightweight natural foundation, I highly recommend giving this one a try. Okay, so let's talk about full coverage foundation now on the opposite side. Now, you know what? Should I even put this? You know what? It's going in this video because I've already gathered it's on the list. But technically, I discovered this product when it launched a decade or more ago. But I rediscovered it this year. It had been several years since I have used this, and I don't know why. Well, I know why, because I test and buy so many different products that sometimes you forget about some really good favorites. But the MAC Studio Fix Fluid, you guys, just a total favorite from this year. This is full coverage. It is a long wearing. I have it on the skin today. Even though it's full coverage, it gives like a natural matte finish. So it's very, very long wearing. The longevity is very reliable. It is one of those go-to foundations for me when I want my makeup to last and look good all day long. I put it on earlier today. We have dinner plans tonight, and I have no doubt that it'll look beautiful at dinner time. I am the shade NC27. I also love how extensive the shade range is in this product line, so you can really get the perfect shade for you. So in the middle of the road is when it comes to coverage. So in the middle of those 2, I have the Dior Face and Body Foundation. I discovered this year, and this quickly became a favorite foundation. This has a natural finish. It has pretty good medium coverage. I actually like to mix this with other foundations to either like kind of sheer out the product. If I have a really thick inconsistency formula and I want it to make it a little lighter weight, I'll add a little bit more of this, or I will do more of this in a pump of a full coverage foundation if I want full coverage, but again, I want it to look more natural. It's a really great foundation on its own, but it also pairs really well with other products. One of my favorite products to pair it with is the NARS Tinted Serum, or I'm sorry, Tinted SPF. I actually did a video on that I will link in the description box below so you can check it out. That was probably my favorite combination of foundations that I discovered this year. It was just perfect. You got your SPF coverage, you also got long wear and great coverage as far as like covering up imperfections on the skin. These are definitely my top 3 favorite discoveries of 2021, products that I started using this year that I absolutely love. So, and I've got one for light coverage, medium, and full. Another product that I have to share at the start of this video is the Elastin Mineral Hydro Tint Mineral SPF. This is probably my favorite discovery of the year, hands down, the best product discovery of 2021. This product is incredible. I worked with Elastin a couple times this year, and I believe I tested it the first time when I was going to work with them, and they sent me a bunch of products, and I was kind of testing out to see which ones I liked to include in that video. And when I tried that product, I was like, oh, Oh my gosh, okay? I had been loving the Elta MD SPF 44 before that, and couldn't think it actually got better than that. But the Hydra Tint is so beautiful. It's lightweight. It blends into the skin so quickly. Worn by itself, it's gonna improve the appearance of your skin by giving a brightness and a little bit of color, not a lot of coverage. It pairs so well underneath makeup. I haven't yet found a foundation that doesn't work with it. So I highly recommend that foundation, or that SPF, I should say, that tinted SPF. It is hands down my favorite. Everyone that I know that has purchased it on my recommendation loves it. I haven't had one person come back and say I did not like that product. So pick that up if you like a tinted mineral SPF. It is the best. So I have two concealers that I want to share that are probably my favorite discoveries of 2021. First, we'll talk about the One Size Concealer. This is the shade Medium 1N. I have it on today. It is a full coverage concealer. It kind of reminds me of Shape Tape, but not as dry as Shape Tape. Extremely long wearing, extremely full coverage. It blends out so easily. I like to use the Angie concealer brush, and sometimes I will bounce over it with a sponge just to like make sure it looks really, really natural on the skin. But when I want to have like a good glam day, I will wear this concealer. This particular shade too has the perfect level of brightness for me. It's bright, but it's not too light. Love this concealer. I also have to share the Pro Longwear Concealer by MAC. Again, technically I did discover this, I don't know, 15, 16 years ago. Whenever this product launched, I was actually working for MAC at the time. If you're new to my channel, I used to work for MAC. I was a trainer for them. So a lot of the MAC products, I actually worked there when they launched, and I trained the artists on the product. So this was one of them. And beautiful, beautiful, beautiful full coverage concealer without looking dry or heavy or cakey. A little bit of this goes a very, very long way. So, I mean, unfortunately, if you do one pump, you're going to get too much product. When I pump this out, I try and press very, very gradually and slowly so that I can only get out what I need. A little bit goes a long way. And it's very spreadable. It has a very interesting texture. Even though it's full coverage and it's a liquid, it has almost like this, almost like a serum or gel-like consistency. It just glides and slides on the skin so beautifully. Love those two. I also have a lightweight concealer option for you that I loved and I discovered this year. It's the Milk Makeup Concealer, and it's actually the Sunshine Under Eye Tint and Brighten. So that's kind of a better way to describe it. It is a great tint of a concealer, not full coverage. Great for those days that you are just wearing maybe your tinted SPF and you don't want to have a full glam look like this. You just want to brighten the under eyes. This is fantastic. It also works really well to touch up throughout the day if you want to throw it in your purse and add a little bit to brighten up on top of makeup. It's not heavy, so you can do that without it looking heavy. And I love the applicator on this. It has a little roller ball, so it's soothing to the under eye. So if you wake up with puffy eyes, this will kind of help depuff a little bit. You know, it's not going to work miracles, but it does, the applicator does help and assist with puffiness under the eyes. So I love this product. It's really beautiful. I believe it's also a Clean at Sephora brand as well. So this powder, you guys, the YSL 3D Glow powder is beautiful. Do you see it on my nose? Do you see that really pretty, soft, subtle, like pink glow to the skin? This is such a beautiful powder. At first glance, it looks like the color of skin tone, but when you look closely, you can see the most subtle, radiant, pinky radiant sheen to it. When you put this onto the skin, I will show you guys, look closely at how that reflects. Let me cover this up so it can focus. How that reflects light. You see that sheen? It's beautiful. Now it's showing up pretty intense on my finger because I swatched it with my fingertip, but if you have a loose brush and you dust this all over, it's going to leave the softest, prettiest, glowy veil on the skin. If you don't want that much shine and you want to strategically place it, which is what I like to do, I place it down my nose, I place it on my cheekbones, you can kind of see it there. I'll place it on my forehead, maybe just above the brows to give a little bit of a glow. It's also beautiful in the inner corner of the eye. It's a very special and unique product. I haven't found a product similar to this. It is stunning and it's beautiful, and it's kind of what I like to use when I want to look my best, when I have one of those glam days. This is a go-to. Another discovery and face powder category that I love is the Kosas powder. It's called the Cloud Set powder. I have the shade Feathery. This is a beautiful all-over setting powder. This is a great all-over setting powder. Now, this doesn't really have a glow to it, but it has like, it leaves the skin how do I explain this? I don't want to say glowy, but it sets a foundation. Like if you're using a radiant finish foundation and you want to set it, but you don't want to take away from that finish or that effect, this is a great product to use because it will set everything, lock it in place, but it won't alter or mattify the skin much. It is so beautiful. It goes on like silk, like velvet and silk. They're very different, but they're almost kind of similar if you think about makeup terms. I don't know why. It's just a beautiful, soft effect, I should say, kind of like blurring the skin a little bit. It is such a beautiful setting powder. This is one I discovered earlier this year and I highly recommend it. It is also a Clean at Sephora brand, so good ingredients. But yeah, these two powders really stood out for me in terms of like powders that I discovered this year. Very different powders, but I love them both and they definitely are top of the list for favorites. So I have two bronzers that made this cut, okay? One is powder and one is cream. The cream is the Danessa Myricks Cream Bronzer. I have the shade Light. I love the color of this. It's very warm. I also love the formula of this bronzer. It is a cream, but it has almost like, feels like a souffle kind of whipped like texture. It just goes on the skin so beautifully. It's very easy to blend out. I like to use the BK Beauty 107 and I will put this around the face. I also love the angled blush brush from the Angie Hot and Flashy BK Beauty collection. This is great because you can kind of create that like soft little contour, but you can also use the side of the brush to get right along the hairline. And I'll do the 107 with that too. It just warms up the face really nicely and it blends out so beautifully. I've been into cream products this year a lot, cream blush, cream bronzer. I like some other cream bronzers. I love the Fenty, I like the Chanel a lot, but this one kind of stood out to me as favorite new cream bronzer discovery for 2021. And part of it is the shade and part of it is the formula. So keep in mind the shade is a big part of that. So if you are, much lighter than me, that's going to be a little different. I think this is the lightest shade that it comes in. They do have two other deeper shades, but I just love everything about this. Like I said, the shade, the formula, how easily it blends, how beautiful it looks on the skin. It has been my go-to bronzer this year. Before I discovered it, I was obsessed with the Ilia bronzer. You can see I'm almost about to hit pan on this product. This is a gorgeous powder bronzer. Now, I would say that I would put this right up as where my love of the Physicians Formula Butter Bronzer. I love that bronzer. And this is right there with it. This is a little bit more matte, but it has a very slight sheen. You don't really see it on the skin when it goes on, but it's so silky and soft and so easy to blend. When I apply this, my bronzer just looks like perfectly blended and soft without a lot of extra work. It's a phenomenal product. This also is a Clean at Sephora brand. I like to just mention that because I think it's a special, unique quality of the product. And so, it's good to know that. So when it comes to blushes, I really just picked one blush, and there were a lot of blushes I love this year, and I'm sure by the time I get around to editing this video, I'm gonna be like, oh, but I forgot this one, I forgot this one. If that happens, which it's bound to, I'm going to leave, I'll leave additional products in the description box below because I feel like I might be missing something. I wanted this, like I said, to be the best of the best, and I forced myself to kind of like, put some filter on myself when I was picking products before they made their way into this video. But the one blush that I just loved this year is the MAC blush in Gingerly. And again, this technically I discovered back when I was working for MAC years ago, but it has been so long that I feel like a rediscovery is worth a mention, right? This is such a beautiful blush. It's a sheer tone formula, which I love. Sheer tone means that the first application is going to be light and sheer, but you can build it to get more color, making it really foolproof and easy to use. So you get just the right amount of pigment. With blush, it's really easy to overdo it, and it's very difficult to overdo it with the sheer tone formula from MAC. The shade Gingerly, I think, is so lovely. It's like a warm apricot ginger shade. It's so beautiful. I mean, this is one of those kind of products that is, if you don't want to wear bronzer, you could just dust this all over your face and it'll give a bronze look, but it has just enough color to it that it really brightens up the cheeks when you wear it as a blush. It's a matte formula, so it doesn't have any shine. That's why I like to pair it with something like the 3D All Over Glow like I did today, so I get a little bit of that highlight. Beautiful shade. And that wraps up my best of 2021 discoveries for concealers, foundations, bronzers, and powders. I will have my follow-up video, which will include definitely eye makeup. We will see if I get lips and additional products into that video, or if I create 2 more videos. I have a feeling it'll be 1. But thank you guys for watching this. What are your favorite foundation, concealer, powder, bronzer discoveries of 2021? Let us know in the comment section below. As always, thank you guys so much for your time here on my channel. I always appreciate the time you spend with me, and I will see you guys in my next one. Bye.